Today we're going to be showing you guys the plug and play remote start kit that we have for select BMW vehicles. We're going to be using this 2011 3 Series to give you guys a demonstration on how to install it and where the module is that our T-harness connects to. So we have the harness laid out on the floor. You guys probably watched the harness overview video already, but we will touch on this when we install it into the vehicle. In all of the BMW vehicles, the module that our T-harness adapts to is right here underneath the driver's side dash panel. There are only a few tools that you guys are going to need in order to access the module. The first thing you guys are going to need is going to be a T20 Torx bit, which will remove the couple screws underneath the dash, which we'll show you here in a minute. Some wire cutters to cut the zip ties that come with the kit. A small flathead screwdriver might help you aid in removal of a couple of the connectors that we're going to show you guys here in a second. So what you're going to do is you're going to come underneath the dash. You guys are going to see that we have 3 T20 screws. All we're going to do is just simply remove these, and that's going to loosen up this bottom panel here. Once the 3 screws are removed, you're simply just going to loosen the bottom dash panel. And then the module that we need is going to be right here underneath the driver dash. So let me see if I can position the flashlight and get the camera up in there to show you guys exactly where it's at. So the module in your vehicle may vary just a tad bit from where it is in this 3 Series, but it will be underneath the driver dash and you guys will be able to see it and access it very, very easy. So up here on the 3 Series, it's right here to the left. So you guys can see this huge connector right here. All we do is push that little tab in, fold the latch back, and then that is our main module connector. You guys can see the ribbon cable here that plugs into the same module. So there is a tab on each side of this connector. On this connector, you guys are probably gonna have to use a little flathead or a pick to release the tabs on each side and pop this down. I can't get that out while I'm holding the camera, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop that out here in a second. And lastly, we have the brake switch connector, which is right here. So what you're gonna do is just find the brake pedal, follow it up, and then you guys will have the bracket, which the switch is mounted in, and then the connector is plugged in from the top, so you can pull that out, and then it looks just like this. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our harness. We're gonna go ahead and T-harness it into the brake switch, the large connector, and then I'll pop the ribbon cable out and show you guys what it looks like plugged into our harness. So here we have the wiring harness almost fully installed. You guys can see we have the large connector here that plugs in. This is the factory connector plugged into our T-harness. I just folded it back over here so when we pop the panel back up, it's not pressing up against it. And then the brake connector, that was the first one that I did. You can see we have the OEM connector plugged into our T-harness. Then the other end of our harness plugs into the actual brake switch here at the bracket. And this is what I wanted to show you guys. On the ribbon cable, I got it out. You see that there's a lock tab on each side on the left and right. You have to squeeze these together and pull it out. I ended up using a little flathead screwdriver. You can get to it from the bottom and you push those in towards the middle and it will pinch those where you guys can remove it out. Now on our harness, you'll also see the same thing. The tabs on the left and right, you just pinch those and then that's it. So what we're gonna do is plug the ribbon cable into this part of our harness, and then I'm gonna take the other end and plug it right back up into that module. So now that we have the wiring harness installed in the vehicle, we're gonna refer you guys over to the module programming video. It's gonna show you guys where and how to connect these into the module, along with the procedure to complete the stage 1 programming. Now this is a 2-stage process, which means after you guys complete the stage 1 programming here in the vehicle, you will have to send the module back to us to get the 2nd stage programming complete. During that time, this harness can stay completely installed in your vehicle. There's no reason to pull this out. So plug the module in. We're going to go through stage 1 programming. You guys will unplug the module from the harness and send it back to us. Tuck this up under the dash and put it back up so you guys can operate the vehicle as normal. And then when you get the module back from 2nd stage programming, there are a couple steps that you will need to take, which we will show you in the module programming video. So we're going to go ahead, get our module all programmed up so we can show you guys the operation of the remote start. Please refer to the module programming video for the most up-to-date programming procedure. and also for proper connection of the wiring harness to the module. This vehicle requires a two-stage programming process. This means you will install the module into your vehicle, program stage 1, remove the module and send it back to us, and then we will send it back to you after stage 2 is complete. We're gonna have to make this quick. It's starting to rain. I did not plan on pulling this car outside, but we did end up hooking up our app module, which we are going to show you guys a demo of all the features on that. First, on the factory key fob, what we're gonna do is hit lock 3 times, which will activate the remote start. So we're gonna go ahead and hit 1, 2, 3. We're gonna give it a couple seconds. She's gonna turn on the ignition, all the electronics, fuel pump, all that good stuff, and then she's gonna fire up. Now, once it starts, it's gonna run for 15 minutes, and we can hit the lock button again 3 times, and it will cancel the remote start and turn the vehicle off, and it will return to the state that it was in before you remote started it. So it's running. If we hit lock 3 more times, it's going to turn the vehicle off, but I am gonna show you guys how to do the secure takeover, which is basically you walk out to the car, you can hit the unlock button, and we're gonna go ahead and jump in, and you can see that we're running. So what I did was I hit unlock, I opened the door, closed the door, and now all we gotta do is hit the brake, pull it out of park. So there's reverse, and we just drive away. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and pull this in just a tad since it is starting to rain. We're gonna go ahead and jump out, and then I'll show you guys the app module functions. So on the app, we have a couple extra features than just remote start. On the bottom left, you guys will see a lock icon, so we can lock the doors. We just simply push that. The car will respond with the parking light, blink, it will lock the doors, and then the remote start will feed back over to the app and give you an updated status that says doors locked. Now we can do the same thing with unlock. We'll get a response from the car, just like that. And then once the remote start reports back to the app, our status here will show that the doors are unlocked, just like this. There we go. Now we're gonna go ahead and hit the top left icon, which is remote start. You heard the little feedback there from the app, so we can come over here and watch the ignition and everything turn on, and then the car is gonna start. And again, once the remote start reports back to the app, it's gonna give you guys a countdown timer here. It says 15 minutes, and it's gonna count down to 0. Now, if you guys wanna shut it off after it's remote started, just like the factory key, you guys can push lock 3 times. It will cancel remote start. In this case, we have a button up here on the top right, which will turn the remote start off, just like that. Now, another feature that you can do is set up the trunk pop into the settings. So you guys would hit the little gear up here, go into the settings, set the trunk icon up, and that's gonna give you a trunk or hatch pop depending on whatever you're driving. So SUVs obviously have the hatch. We have a trunk here, so all we do is hit the little trunk icon, and then that's going to pop the trunk. I don't know if you heard that, but she's open now, just like this. Close it up, and everything's good. The last thing on the app is a GPS locate feature. So we hit the little map pin here, and it's gonna show you exactly where the vehicle is in real time, but it's not necessarily deemed as a tracker. It's more or less just kind of like a ping the vehicle and find out where it's at in real time. So that's it on the app. If you guys have any questions, please let us know.